Hey, don't go anywhere because Eric Martin is coming up and it's a hilarious interview. So many great stories, like playing pool with Bon Scott from AC/DC, singing on the demo for Winger's song Miles Away, pissing off Steve Perry from Journey. He had offers to audition for Van Halen, Rainbow, and Toto. He played in a metal band called Fire Beast, and just many, 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 many more stories. So check it out.
You know what? I'm really curious, Chuck. I'm really curious.
Okay, sorry.
You got Beatles, and then you got Warrant.
Yes.
And then what do you got in the middle? What is that in the middle?
The Poison?
Oh, you got Poison.
Yeah, I found this. I found this in a small town in New Mexico. I was like, oh, that's cool. I got a couple of them that I can change out. So like I got like some movie ones and stuff. So if I have like an actor or like, you know, if Harrison Ford ever wants to come on the show, I could put like Star Wars stuff and stuff like that. So yeah.
Where's my affiliation? Oh, I'll try to get it. I'll try to connect the dots here. I do love the Beatles.
Yeah.
The guys in Mr. Big loved the Beatles a lot more than I did. I was more of a Rolling Stones fan, but I did write a lot of Beatle-esque kind of songs.
Right.
Poison, Richie Kotzen played guitar with Mr. Big.
Yes.
He was in Poison. And I had just performed with Warrant recently. That's kind of like the only connection. Robert Mason and I are a little bit of acquaintances. Who's the other album that you got over there?
That is actually a original art from a band, Edge of Paradise. The singer Margarita Monet. She did that's like $100, and I was like, "You're gonna paint an original piece of artwork for $100? I'm in." And so I bought that, and I love it. I think it's so cool. Like I think she's super talented. Like that's the only piece of art that I own. So I thought it was kind of cool. I need to buy more. Do you own any art?
Mr. Big posters.
Do you have like the originals?
Actually, I do. I mean, like I opened a Y&T a bunch of years ago at the Fillmore, and you know when bands play the Fillmore, the artists, you know, like all those great artists that did all those cool Fillmore posters back in the 70s, they'll paint, illustrate, whatever this poster, and your name's on it or your likeness or whatever. Mr. Big had a couple of them. It was like a doll. It looked like the eye of in the pyramid of the eye in the pyramid in a dollar bill,
like the Illuminati symbol or whatever.
Who knows? But and that was in the Fillmore. But I have that, and then I also have that Y&T one, and it's just like this colorful dragon looking thing. And so I would say that was art. So those are the only two art pieces I have. That's it.
Or do you own like a lot of cool music? You must have some really cool music memorabilia, either from Mr. Big or other bands you've toured with or bands you were a fan of.
I do. I you know, if I'd have known a little bit, and I would have dragged some of that stuff out. They're in bins somewhere in this house. But yeah, I was just watching, I was on a Rush kick last night, and I was looking at all these, you know, Mr. Big had toured with Rush.
Right,
we did the Presto tour and the Roll the Bones tour. And I was checking out all these videos, and then I went, oh man, and I opened up some of the old bins, and I got this tour. I did it a while ago, the tour book. I'm going to paraphrase, but in the tour book, it said, it was a little blurb. I think Getty wrote it. And it said, it was at the end of the tour. You know, you get your tour book signed. It's like the yearbook, you know, from high school.
Oh.
And Getty goes, yeah, you guys had to go back to, we were on the road. And he goes, you had to go back to Germany or wherever the fuck you're from and fuck off or something like that. because he goes, he was saying like, you guys are way too good or something like that. It was a cute saying. I'm going to find it and I'll send it to you and then you could retract it. But, and it said, you know, love Alex, Getty, and Neil.
Wow.
And then Alex wrote a couple things, and on that tour, they gave me a nickname. They called me E, like Elvis. They go, you're E. IWE, and all over that tour book. And then I got other things, you know, like, hey, E, good to see you today. You know, thanks for hanging out, that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. That's pretty, you don't have like a man cave where you can display it all though or anything?
This is, yeah, well, this is kind of a little man cave, but you know, like I moved into this condo music thing, like it's like a writing house or whatever, about 3 years ago. And I don't have anything up on the walls like you do. I got it in bins. I got guitars everywhere, but I do have like a memory box, all the trophies that I got over the years and awards and accolades from Japan, and there was a Bay Area music. I'll show you something. Oh,
okay, this is really cool. If you can, hopefully you can find it, and I don't kill too much air talking because nobody wants to hear me talk. Everybody wants to hear you talk. So hopefully you're not gone too long. Or, oh, you're back already. That was fast. Wow, so that's old. Cool.
This is so old. I mean, it's barely.
Oh, is it supposed to do that?
No, it fell apart over the years, but it says, God, it's like a Indiana Jones scroll or something like that.
So it's like a microphone. Is that wood, made wood and steel, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really heavy. To the Eric Martin Band, Sucker for Her Pretty Face, best debut album, 1983. I know.
Wow.
I know, right? I have this other one. It was like for best song for To Be With You from the Bay Area Music Awards. And I just picked it up and it kind of fell apart. So, you know, it's a long time ago.
Wow. Were you in, is that the same time that Metallica was in those awards as well too? Cause they're from the Bay Area as well, right?
Oh yeah, probably. Oh God, there was, you know, I was up for best male vocalist for 10, 12 years. And I was like, and I never got it. And again, you know, Sammy Hagar, Steve Perry, I think even James Hetfield at one time, but nope, never got it.
No, Steve Perry, tell me that.
I have a bin full of like the accolades and the memories and, you know, all that stuff. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. But no, tell me, you mentioned Steve Perry. I got to ask you about this. I heard you tell this story. I don't know if you were joking or, so you're working with Neil Schon from Journey and, and Steve Perry's coming over or something. And Neil Schon's like, quick, you got to hide in a closet. Like he was cheating on Steve Perry. What was the story with this?
It's kind of right. But, so Herbie Herbert, our manager, managed Journey. Mm-hmm. And then he managed Eric Martin Band.
Okay.
And Herbie would schedule meetings with both bands, but, you know, a couple hours apart from each other. And I think our meeting went over a little longer. And Herbie goes, well, hey, you guys got to split, you know, Journey's coming over. So we start walking out. And I think some of the guys in the band got to their cars, but not me. I stood back there. Another co-manager of ours named Sandy Einstein. He had his own office and I was hanging out with him right next to Herbie's, and the band's coming in. Sandy goes, get in the closet quick. They can't see you. I'm like, why? They can't see you. I don't know, man. There might be a jealous thing. Anyway, so I had to hide in the closet, and it was the weirdest thing too, because here they're talking Journey business, and I'm in the closet going, oh man, what the hell, man? And I eventually snuck out. Yeah.
Oh, how long did you have to be in the closet for?
A while. Hey, I remember. Hey, I got a story for you. I never told this story before, but Journey was doing the album Raised on Radio, and you know they were sending their demos to Herbie, as you do, the manager. You know, he wants to hear this stuff. He was a hands-on manager. You know, he was a musician himself, and you know he was he had a great ear for that stuff. And anyway, so he had a bag of demos from even Mr. Big in there too, but like the Raised on Radio demos. And I was, you know, he's in San Francisco Bay Area, and I think I was talking to him. I was over to the office one day and I said, man, I'm having writer's block right now. I want to write something and I just can't think of anything. And he goes, you should write a song like this. And he pulls out of the bag this song called I think it's Once You Love. It was like go 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 down down down. It's like once you love somebody, or something like that. Really cool song on Raise That Radio, but they're working on the record. This is just a demo.
Yeah.
They're in the studio at that moment at the record plant. And he goes, yeah, you got to check it out. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I checked it out, and it was my first wife, Stacy. She worked at Macy's. Stacy at Macy's. And she ran into Neil Sean at Macy's, and she goes, oh, Eric just loves their new song, Once You Love Somebody. What a fantastic song that is. And Neil goes, what? How did you get that demo? Right? And oh shit, man, I got a phone call from Steve Perry, and Neil had mentioned to Steve Perry. Steve Perry called my house, and he goes, hey, Eric, good to see you, or good to talk to you, but hey, listen, how did you get that demo? And I go, I think Herbie gave it to me, to listen to, but I'm never going to play that for anybody. He goes, I want you to come down right now and bring that cassette. So, anyway, that was, I hated that moment, man. I had to go to the record plant, and there they all are. And there's Neil and Steve, and I don't know who was producing the record at the time, maybe Kevin, I don't know, but it was all their crew and everybody. And I'm walking in with the tail between my legs, and I'm like, here. Yeah, and they go, hey, don't do that again. I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Oh no, it's like you got in trouble.
I love this.
Yeah.
And he goes, don't do that again. He goes, I don't want to hear a song that sounds like Once You Love Somebody. I'm like, okay. I mean, if you listen to any of my material, I mean, I didn't rip it off. It was inspiring.
Yeah, yeah.
Know? But anyway, yeah, I got super bad. I got slapped.
But that should have been Herbie's trouble, because he gave you the demo. Chuck,
come on. That goes beyond. I mean, I think what Herbie was doing was giving me, hey, I'm kind of an R&B rock and roll singer. And he goes, this is the kind of music he loved Journey so much. He's going, this is the kind of music you should be listening to. He never said to me, don't play it for anybody. And I wouldn't anyway, but I play it for my wife.
Yeah.
I'm in the room. But but Stacy, God, man, I went, oh, you messed. She felt pretty bad too. Everybody, Herbie, Stacy, and Eric had goodness in their hearts.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's kind of a cute little story. I never told that to anybody, but I totally got scolded. But I was listening. I kept some voicemails over the years, like on cassette.
Mm-hmm.
And that I still have. And I remember when Steve Perry, he called my house and left, it's like beep, those kind of things. And he goes, hey, man, Steve, it's your old friend, Steve Perry. You don't call me anymore. You don't call me. I just want to let you know, man, that I'm so excited for your success. To Be With You hit.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was 20 years later, but that was cool. I got a lot of those voice messages. Like, I was good friends with Michael Bolton back in the day.
Right, you worked with him on a song, right?
Yeah, we wrote a song that never saw the light of day. It was called Life After Love. And then I loved this guy so much. We needed another song for a solo record that I was doing on Capitol. And I go, I want to do one of your songs. It was called Can't Hold On, Can't Let Go. And it was on that Fool's Game Michael Bolton record, because Michael Bolton was a rocker back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we were really good friends. Anyway, I listened to his voicemail recently, and he goes, hey, Eric Martin, I'm so excited for you. You know what I hear? I hear cash registers dinging, and that's what he said. It was cute. Those are kind of like my memory mementos too,
Oh, that's really cool.
I got great memories and great stories of all that stuff. All right, let's get to going here. Let's do it.
This isn't the interview? This is all great stuff. This is gold.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on behind you right now, Chuck.
What, there's something
You
going
got
on?
Beatles and Warrant and Poison and this $100 artwork behind you. It's throwing me off a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Should I, let me get my Bammy.
No, you just need like one of the, can't you do the green screen or whatever? You could be like on a deserted island or whatever.
I'm not doing green screens, man. Like, and if that's your green screen, you might want to talk to green screen people.
No, this is real. It's legit. I would go bigger if I had a green screen.
Well, this is legit too. This is the front of my house.
Yeah.
If I open the thing, what if I like open the blinds and it was just a brick wall? That would be that would be super sad right there.
That would be cool.
Anyway, what do you want to know about me? You just want me to just chat away?
I don't know. You just keep telling stories, and I just want to keep listening. But no. So, did you have a tour with Geoff Tate? Is that happening, or that already happened?
No. So Geoff Tate and I are friends. I didn't know him back in the day, but I'm a part of a rock opera called Aavantasia in Europe, and it's kind of a metal thing, and great music written by this guy Tobias Sammet. He's the lead singer of a band from Germany called Ed Guy. Metal world, unbelievable. And in this band, there's maybe it can be to 6 to 7 singers from all around the world. I mean, you got Bob Catley from England, from the band Magnum, Ronnie Atkins from the band Pretty Maids. I don't know if some of your listeners even check this out, but great singers from across the pond. Anyway, the 3 Americans that are in this group, because everybody else, British, Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, German, anyway, but the 3 Americans, Adrian Cowan, metal singer from the East Coast, and then Geoff Tate from Queensryche, and then moi. How'd that Mr. Big singer get in this metal opera? I don't know, but Geoff and I met a few years ago, and we've toured all over with Aavantasia. And then Geoff does this thing called Backstage Pass Travel, where he takes fans across the United States. Basically, we start in Seattle, Washington. He's a native son. We play a show. I've already done this once. I'm going to do it again at the end of May. We play a show at the Everett Theater, and it sells out, of course. I mean, he's a hometown hero. And then we get in these, we're going to take the tour bus this time. We had luxury vans before, but we get the fans in this tour bus. And I want to say there's maybe 15 people, huge Queensryche fans, huge Geoff Tate fans, some Eric Martin fans that I found out. Yeah, that's cool. I think I'm around for comedy relief, and Susan, his wife, loves me.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's great. And I travel with these guys, and we play shows up and down. So a couple shows in Washington, then we're traveling to Idaho. We play a show there. We go to Montana, where this whole thing happens. Big sky country, man. And go hiking and go to distilleries and wine tasting and French restaurants and then campfires. And we play around the campfire. We went to this brew pub, and there was and the fans come with us, right? And there was other people there too. It was in the afternoon. And Geoff goes, "We should play here." And we're talking to the owner about maybe getting a PA. We'd play acoustic. And the guy goes, "Man, I can't get it together in the afternoon." So I bust out the acoustic guitar, put my strap on, and sort of do traveling, do like a kind of busking. And I started going up to each table, and I go, "Hi, my name is Eric Martin for the band Mr. Big, and I'm the one who wants to, just take my heart." I don't go. I don't play a Dig That Rush.
Oh, okay.
I can't. But going it around each table. And then Geoff and his two guitar players did the same thing. So we ended up playing for hours. And he's singing not just Silent Lucidity, man. I mean, he's doing Empire and he's doing heavy stuff on acoustic. It was fantastic. And I think we're going to do that a lot coming up. Backstage pass travel.
Okay.
I think
that sounds awesome. A lot of fun.
And then after this thing, and it's like probably a week and a half, 10 days, then him and I are flying together to Germany to do rehearsals for the new Aavantasia tour.
Does that play in pretty big venues?
Big boys. Bop, 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 bop. Anyway, what?
The Aavantasia, is it pretty big venues?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a headliner situation. They're playing like Wacken, 90,000 people. They're the headliner.
Dang.
Sweden Rock, Hellfest, all the Sonospheres, every heavy metal rock festival you can think of. Summer Breeze, that's another one. All over Europe. And then they play the clubs, but the clubs are like, 2,000, 3,000 seater, like Grosse Freiheit in Hamburg, huge, where the Beatles played, huge. And then we've come to America, and it's like, I think we played the PlayStation Theater in New York. I don't even play a PlayStation Theater, I don't know, but like we played there, and a couple thousand people. We played near me in San Jose at the San Jose Civic. It's an arena act.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
It's mega.
Yeah. So speaking of heavy metal, tell me about this band. This has to be one of the coolest band names I've ever heard that you were in high school, called Fire Beast. Fire Beast. Isn't that that is the coolest name.
Dude, it's the coolest name. And so I remember I was in high school. They rehearsed, which I thought was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It was a chicken coop. It was there was a bunch of chicken coops, and all these bands rehearsed there. I was like, oh man, they got a banner. And it was a huge banner on the wall, Fire Beast. And I'm like, I'm making it. I was in my mother's garage, when I played gigs, I didn't have any gigs. I'd open the garage door, and we had an old dilapidated ping pong table that we turned over on its side, kind of cockeyed like that. And that was the backdrop. Right.
Okay.
And I played drums and neighborhood kids. And we played, and for people walking by, in the garage door, with the garage door, that was my gigs. But these guys were like, wow, I'm going to make it. But Fire Beast. Yeah.
So that was drums. You didn't sing for them then?
No, I'm sorry. I played drums in solo bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or not solo bands, but in my early days.
You started off as a drummer.
Then I became a singer.
Then you became a singer,
but yeah, I was a singer in Fire Beast.
So when did you do Stark Raving?
No. Okay, sorry. You opened that can of worms.
Okay, keep going.
I'm doing the talking here.
Okay.
So it was Mike and Mark Johnson. Mike and Mark Johnson. God, I hope so. And I can't remember the bass player's name. I keep wanting to say Chip or Skip, or I don't remember. They later changed the name to the Boys.
They changed the name, but it's the best name ever.
I know. And Billy Lambeth, I remember, took my place in the band. He was the lead singer of the Boys.
Okay.
He made a 45 with Ronnie Montrose producing.
Wow.
That's a whole, and I later on got together with Ronnie Montrose. It's all connected. But Fire Beast, I know. Awesome name.
Yeah.
Every time I bring it up, I cringe just a little bit, but I like it.
No, I like it. It's fun. And then, so another band you were in called Stark Raving Mad. But tell me about this, because this was with Paul Taylor of Winger, and he had the song Miles Away, and you sang on the demo. That's crazy. And the demo was produced by Stevie Nicks' brother.
Do you need me in this conversation, or are you just do you need me in the conversation? I'm just going to let you you know everything about me. You dug up the Eric Martin graveyard. Go ahead. I'll just sit here and let you talk about me. One of my favorite subjects, anyway. Go ahead.
No, but is that story true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the leader was this guy Donovan Stark. It was brothers. There was another team of brothers. It was Donovan and Brian Stark. Stark Raving Mad. I was in a band called Kid Courage in San Francisco, and I answered this ad. And in the ad, it didn't say musicians wanted or singer wanted. It said Eric Martin wanted. How cool
What?
is that?
The ad said that?
Yeah, this Stark Raving Mad band, they lived in Santa Rosa and they came to San Francisco to see me play. Loved me. I was on the outs with Kid Courage, and they could, there was no, I didn't have a telephone. I lived in a band house. I've lived in a bunch of band houses with pay phones. Nobody had a Princess, my sister had a Princess phone. Nobody had a phone. So it was hard to get in touch with me. So they just put an ad out in that BAM magazine thing. And I answered my own ad, and I actually said, I go, so do I get the $100? I was so poor back then. And so I moved to Santa Rosa, and I was in this band for a little while, and I lived with Paul and Paul's family. His mother and father were both psychiatrists or psychologists. That was a trip. And I used to go out with his sister as well. It was all connected, bro.
Wow.
Anyway, so I'm in this house. Paul goes, hey, I just wrote this song. He's a piano player and a guitar player as well.
Yeah.
Both great artists. But we were boys. We were kids, 18, I don't know. So it was in this tiny little guest room where I was basically living. And in these tiny little it was like two beds in this room, two twin beds, really small. And he had this little 4-track recorder. And I sat on the bed and I sang this song, and it was Miles Away, which was, big, huge hit later on down the line for Winger when he brought that song in. And it sounds pretty close to my version as well. But they had it. I wish I would have what if I would have brought that song in for Mr. Big? That would be crazy. I mean, I didn't write it. He wrote it, but I played some shows with Winger, and Kip will say, I'm about ready to do this song, this beautiful ballad that Eric Martin actually sang that demo, actually.
That's pretty cool. What year was that?
Oh, 1970, late 70s.
Oh, so that song had been around for a while then before they recorded it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. To Be With You. Wrote that when I was 16 and then later rewrote it in 1988. So, yeah, a lot of shit that's been around. A lot of songs, a lot of Mr. Big songs sat on the shelves for years. We wrote so many songs for albums that we kept them on the shelf, and then we revisit them each record. And I remember there was a song that was on one of our last records. No, it was on What If. I think that album came out in 2009, and it was called American Beauty. And some of the lyrics, but all the music is from a song that we wrote called Trapped in the City when we first got together in 1988.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, what do they call it? What do you call it? Sniglets or something? All these little pieces of songs that just kind of put them together later.
Yeah, Paul Gilbert used to say that. He'd say those guys wrote so much music. They would send me demos, or not demos, though, cassettes. They lived in LA and I lived in Marin County, which I still do, outside of San Francisco. And I used to commute back and forth for years. And in those days, we'd rehearse and we'd write songs together. But a lot of times they would write a bunch of ideas, which he called Sniglets, like about 5 or 10 ideas, and that'd be one track and a second track. And I would have to basically take a machete and chop myself out of the Amazon jungle of music and write songs. Like even there was this one song I came into the rehearsal, you know, after a week at home, and I go, hey guys, you know that song that goes da 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 da? Well, it's called Merciless. And they go, what is that? They couldn't even remember. I had to play the cassette and weed out 5 or 10 ideas to get to that little riff. And I had written some music to it. And I remember, Paul probably doesn't remember. I mean, I totally ripped it right off in that song. He goes, that chorus sounds really familiar. I mean, no one could understand it. It was like, stop the love you say may be your own. Jackson 5, right? Da, 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 da. And I turned that sideways and made a chorus out of it. So little trivia for you, Mr. Big fans.
Merciless. Wait, which album? That's on, which album is that on? What If?
Kids used to call it the Hat and Shoes album. So
the debut.
Mr. Big.
Yeah, that's a great one. The debut. It's just Mr. Big, Mr. Big.
Yeah, or Hat and Shoes album. Let's just go with what the kids say.
That's cool. Yeah. Right. Oh, so you mentioned Kid Courage. Was that the one where you opened up for AC/DC?
Yeah.
With Bon Scott?
Yeah, the original. Bon Scott, Phil Rudd. All those guys. Angus. We played 2 shows at a place called the Old Waldorf. And I didn't know them. I didn't know who they were. I heard that's out of tune. Let's try to fix that in post.
Okay. Anyway. Auto-tune it. Yeah.
Anyway. Where was I? So fucking.
Yeah, you played pool with Bon Scott.
Open AC/DC. I didn't know who they were. Heard some stuff on the radio, and rock and roll is still king in California at that time, but punk was coming in. Punk was starting to come out, and I thought it was a punk band that I was opening to. We opened to so many bands at the Old Waldorf, and but super excited, some band from Australia and not Los Angeles. And we were so excited to do it. And I remember watching them at sound check, and I'm like, they do have this punk kind of thing. But anyway, they played their gig and they blew my mind, blew me off. Nobody, I guess that's how you thought back in the day in the 70s. They blew us off the stage. Whatever. They were great. And then the next day I went out and bought their first album. And I've told the story before. There was a dressing room backstage, and there was a pool table, only thing in the dressing room. And Angus and all the band and our band had our gig bags and guitars in this room with nothing in it except a pool table. And Bon was playing pool, and I joined him, and we played pool together. We were talking, and I was normal. I wasn't starstruck. I didn't know who he was, Right. I didn't realize that and even when I found out he was the lead singer, I was like, oh, that's cool. But, it wasn't Star Trek moment, starstruck moment. It was more like, 2 bands at the same level.
Yeah. That's really cool, because it's before they were like huge then.
Cat got my tongue. Anyway, I went and got their album the next day, and then we're playing pool again because we're playing the second show. And I was totally like, oh, what's it like to be you? I can't remember what it was. And he did say, in his accent, I liked you better yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. But yeah, so then you do the solo career thing, and you had a couple songs on the Iron Eagle soundtrack. Are you a fan of that movie?
The poor man's Top Gun? Absolutely.
Well, no. So have you watched the Cobra Kai show at all? Because the character in that show, Johnny, loves Iron Eagle. I was like, you should try to get a cameo.
Really?
Yeah. It's like his favorite movie.
Weird.
Yeah. They reference it several times.
I gotta watch that show.
Yeah.
I mean, not for that. I mean, I gotta, that's one of my bucket list things, but, hey, I was just lucky to get this soundtrack. Yeah, I did one for a movie called Teachers that me and Neil wrote a song on that. And then I got, and for the movie, oh no, here's the story. So Herbert, our manager from Mr. Big and Journey, and this could have been so good, but it was a movie with Matthew Modine and it was called Vision Quest.
Yeah.
I think Journey's on it as well. And I wrote a song for that movie called Eyes of the World.
Oh.
And it was even a title, or no, it wasn't a title. It was somebody had said like, hey, the eyes of the world are watching you right now, kid, as you wrestle it was a wrestling movie. And I wrote it with Neil. And if I would have gotten on that soundtrack, man, it would have got me off my father's couch a lot earlier and put some money in my pocket. I mean, I was poor, man, super poor. I mean, I can't even, I was a struggling musician. I thank God for girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Really?
Anyway.
Even when you have because when was your first deal? Was it like 84, 85? Like, I mean, those deals, they don't.
83, I had Eric Martin band and we were signed to Elektra Records.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't make any money, man. I don't remember if I did have a publishing deal. I don't think I did at the time. I borrowed money from my manager, not Herbie, but the co-manager, Sandy Einstein. I borrowed money from him, his mother's inheritance. He gave me some of that, I paid him back. He's still holding on to it, but he's still holding on to I gave you my mother's inheritance. Anyway, I was dirt poor, man. And, so it didn't happen. And the 11th hour, they decided to go with somebody else, maybe Tom Cochran. I think Lunatic Fringe. I think.
Oh, that's a good song.
In it, or some Red Rider song. But anyway, that Eyes of the World made it into Iron Eagle.
Okay, yeah.
There's a scene where I was so excited too, because another song called "These Are the Good Times,"
right?
Which is, and I didn't write it, but it was a song on one of my records on that second record, I think. No, not on the same record, second Capitol record. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Hold on, let me get this story straight. So, man, it was so exciting because These Are the Good Times only played for a second. Like they opened the van up and Jason Gedrick and all these other actor guys played a little ghetto blaster and it's like, these are the good, that's it, And, but then there's a scene where Lou Gossett Jr. and this Jason Gedrick kid are up in the jet and he's flying all over the place. And Lou Gossett goes, let's just turn back to base. You don't have it today or something, and he goes, and the guy, and his name is Chappie.
Yeah,
he goes,
yeah.
Hey, Chappie, I got to have my own music. And he had like a cassette player and headphones and he goes, Eyes of the World. And they play it pretty much the whole song flying around. And, I make this joke about poor man's Top Gun. Hell, man, it was a great summer Army or Air Force movie, feel good, the good guy won kind of movie, so it was
I loved
great.
it as a kid.
Poor man Top Gun. I don't know why I sell it like that, because through that movie, I made money. I made some money on that Teachers one too. That soundtrack actually got me off the couch.
Really? That was pretty good royalty in those days?
Oh wow! Now you're talking business, Chuck.
Well,
Is that what's going on here?
well, that's what I always hear, that those are like, especially now, you almost have to get the movie TV things because obviously,
Yeah.
you guys don't make any money from album sales and stuff.
Well, these days, album sales,
Yeah.
streaming, and I mean, yeah, I guess you don't make that much money in album sales. Are you bumming me out today, Chuck? Is that
No,
what's going
but I
on?
think it's cool because
No,
like,
of course, the movie soundtrack stuff, that made a lot more money than I was making as as an artist on Capitol. I mean, I had a publishing deal later on, and I did make some money. But yeah, the movie soundtracks thing, oh, that was great. Yeah.
yeah. So what keeps you going then? Because you're saying like, oh, I had no money, I had to borrow money. Like, is it just a love of the music? Like, you never thought like, oh, maybe I should get a different job or?
No, I didn't make any money doing jobs either. No, I was so comfortable. Even when I got on Mr. Big, I mean, I wasn't rich, man. I had some money, but all I really cared about. I didn't think I was ever going to have a hit or be a successful live artist and get to go all over the world so many times. I just wanted to make enough money so the record company wouldn't drop me, and just, oh, thank God we get to do another album. That's how it always, even with Mr. Big. And then even my solo career, man, I was like, do a record, do a small tour, play hundreds of dive bar clubs, and then get dropped. Got dropped in Elektra, got dropped at Capitol. And I'm like, getting Mr. Big, and we so fortunate to be signed with Atlantic Records. But after that Lean Into It album, and before To Be With You, it wasn't looking good for us. I mean, we looked like we were going to be dropped. And then To Be With You happened. And then it was like, oh, thank God, get to do another record. It's about the money when you get older. So you can be comfortable and you don't stress out and everything. But I never really stressed out about money because I never really had it, And when I got it, I mean, this sounds so funny about talking about money. I never talk about money. I have money in the bank, and I barely ever touch it because I have 2 children. They're gonna have it. They're gonna need it. In this day and age.
Well, as long as you can pay your bills and you can do what you love, I mean, that's all that matters, right?
It is. I think that's where I'm comfortable. I mean, yeah, I didn't worry about money. I never had it, and then when I had it, my wife took care of it, and no, in a good way, and I didn't think about it.
She didn't take it all, right? Okay.
Even when I all those times where I play shows, you like when you played the clubs when you were younger, they go, here's yours thing, and here's yours, or later on you get a little more, a little more bigger in the music business, and here's your envelope, in the clubs, and then over the years you just never see the money. Well, you play the gigs, you don't see the money after the gig. It's somewhere down the line. It's like
the manager takes it, right? And you hopefully get paid.
Yeah. Your songs all over the plaster, over the radio. You play tons of shows, opening to the Scorpions and Rush and Aerosmith and touring the world and all that. And you don't see the money for a while, for like months and months and months down the line. They go, there's so many times where I get an email from an accountant and they go, you got this. It just, your check came in. I'm like, wow. How'd that happen? Oh yeah, all these shows that I played last year. That happens. That's the way it is.
So there's a lot of trust in those other people, though. I can see how people get screwed over in this business, though, because if you just trust these people and they're dirty, then they could screw you over.
I've had. Chuck, you're bumming me out.
Sorry.
No,
I just worry about you guys. Like I worry about musicians.
Nobody's absconded with the funds.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not connected with any of the dirty stories. I've read about the dirty stories.
Yeah, I've heard they're heartbreaking.
No, I So far, so good for me. I have a lot of great people, great accountants, and really good, and an awesome ex-wife that takes care of me.
That's good. Yeah. No, I even
Yeah.
heard the stories like where then you're in the.
I'm sorry, is that my ex-wife actually was my manager for a while,
Oh,
and and she still kind of helps me out a little bit. Yeah. I don't think about the money. I think about the creative part. Look, you should think about the money. No, I don't want to until you brought it up. I was in a
sorry.
good mood.
No, let's change the subject then. What do you want to talk about? What do you got going on? You got any upcoming projects besides the Geoff Tate thing and
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm touring South America in March. God, in about 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'm flying to Mexico for some rehearsals and a couple shows there, and then heading to again, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, all kinds of places. I mean, I've been to South America a few times, but I don't think I've done an acoustic tour there before.
Oh, so this is just you solo?
Well, it's going to be both. It's going to be it. God, I've got so many irons in the fire right now, and I'm lucky to have that.
Yeah.
Because just like everybody else, I went through the 2-year lockdown too with nothing to do. This is an electric tour. I'm going to have a Brazilian rock and roll band back me up, and I might have an Argentinian band back me up there, but I'm not too sure about that. I've been getting material from them. A lot of Mr. Big songs, But what am I saying?
Just
Got
what you're
all over the place.
Yeah, you're doing the solo thing. You're doing the Geoff Tate thing. You're doing the.
So it's an electric tour.
Okay.
But there's an acoustic aspects of it.
Okay.
Where we'll play electric, and then all the smoke and lights and fire and all that will go away, and it'll just be me and an acoustic guitar with maybe the guitar player or just me, and play a portion of the show acoustic, and then get right back to rocking.
Okay.
But I'm doing that in March, April. And then I also play solo shows around the United States, acoustic, with me and PJ Farley, bass player for Trickster, your good buddy, and Ben Hands is a percussion player for Kip Winger. It's all ancestral, man.
Yeah.
So, and then I also have an electric situation where it's me, PJ Farley, Steve Brown from Trickster, and Joey Casada from a band called ZO2. Like we're playing this weekend in Vegas on the 17th, Whiskey in Hollywood.
Nice.
On the 18th and the 19th at the Canyon Club in LA County. Anyway, and that's electric. And then, okay, so, and I'll be doing that, and then some shows in May. But June, July, August is with Aavantasia, the rock opera. And in between those shows, June, July, I'm doing acoustic all over Europe. And then August is a UK Irish tour. England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. Yeah.
Yeah, and then aren't you doing a show with Michael Monroe too in August? And Pretty Boy Floyd?
Say that again.
I thought I saw that you're like those are only the ones that are like public. Is the Michael Monroe show in August with Hardcore Superstar and Pretty Boy Floyd? That sounds kind of fun. It's in Sheffield.
In August.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what are you saying? Are you connecting our dots?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's another show.
Our stars will align, or you think that we're playing together?
I thought so. You're not?
I'm not that I know of.
Oh, well, sometimes the internet's wrong. It happens. Yeah, but no, and there's no.
You know what? I know you're going to edit this out, but your research sucks.
My research. No, I want to keep that in there. That's awesome.
Everybody, I love your sizzle reel. You go, research, research, research. My thing is like, I'm not saying research. I'm saying, way to dig up the grave.
I want to put that in there. That's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah, you better.
Yeah. No, here's some research. You almost had a project with Warren DeMartini of Rat, but it didn't happen. So tell me about that one.
Well, it was just a couple telephone calls.
Yeah.
I played the whiskey. I was going on tour, an acoustic tour in Japan with me and Pat Torpy, and from Mr. Big, and we were playing the whiskey, and I think Richie Kotzen came down, and then Warren DeMartini came down as well. And we met. Really nice guy. I've been admired this guy's guitar playing for years. I wasn't a big Rat fan, but I was a Warren DeMartini fan, and I know Stephen Pearcy, and I'm a Stephen Pearcy fan, and what he does. But I it was okay. Rat, I don't think I'm going to get shot down. I have so many fan friends that just love Rat, and that's great. I really liked Warren DeMartini's, let's just call him Warren, because it's really hard to say the whole name.
Okay.
But we just did some phone calls, and I was so excited about it. And I just, like, I'm going to work with Warren DeMartini, but it never came out, nothing ever happened.
Okay.
But, hey, the night is young.
Yeah, anything could happen. You almost worked with Steve Lukather too, right? Or did you?
I have worked with Steve. Steve played on both of my solo albums. And we've been friends for years. And I was actually auditioned for Toto.
Right.
And I almost, look, I got farther in Toto than any other audition. It was the only real audition I ever did, but except some of the bands that I auditioned for before Fire Beast. But we were talking on the phone for a really long time, and he's busy. He's got so many irons in the fire as well. Sure. And that didn't work out. But I love the guy, and I love him, and I always feel it in my heart, that God, him and I together would be it would be tits too clean out of sight.
I've never heard that one before.
It's a 70s thing. It's before you were born there, Chuckles.
All right. Sorry about so yeah, because I've heard of some of these auditions, obviously the Van Halen story, the Foreigner, the Toto is Rain. I saw Rainbow though, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it if this was real or not. Did you audition or asked to audition for Rainbow?
I was asked.
Okay.
I was asked, and I was living in LA, struggling, couldn't even get the plane ticket to go down there, and nobody said anything about a plane ticket. The manager, so I was managed by Herbie Herbert, and then the co-managers were Sandy Einstein and John Villanueva. And Sandy managed me in the Kid Courage band, and we've known each other for a while. And I ran into him in LA, and he goes, "Hey, Rainbow is looking for a singer." And he said I don't know how they heard my music. Maybe he played the music for him. He said within that week, it was like Rainbow and Wishbone Ash. And at the time, I was eating 5,000 different ways how to cook potatoes and eggs and oranges. That's all we could afford. We had an orange tree, so we got lucky there. Living in a band house with me and Paul Taylor and a couple other great musicians, but struggling, and it didn't happen. Yeah. It would have been my ticket out, but things all happen for a reason, Chuck,
I hear that before. That's good. I like that saying. I hope it's true.
It's true for me.
Really? Even with some of the bad stuff that's happened?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't really? Are you know who you're talking to, right? You know who you're interviewing, right? Yes. The lead singer from Mr. Big, that guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Good fucking things happen, man. I mean, like, it didn't work out with the Rainbow, Wishbone Ash. Toto, I really wanted that to happen. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen called me up and said, hey, I want you to come down. I chicken shit out of that. I wish I would have done it just to have bragging rights, but it never worked out of these things. Got dropped by all these labels. I pushed and worked so hard to get somewhere. And all of a sudden, Billy Sheehan gives me a call and says, you want to be in a band again? And the first thing I'm like, I don't know. I got this solo album and it just came out. And I'm really, okay, let's do it. Well, bada boom, bada bing, Chuck.
Yeah, no, that's pretty inspiring.
You were about to go, really? Rainbow? I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Mr. Big was the best thing ever happened to me.
Yeah. And it took you what was it, like 20 years of playing music before that thing was like your big break though, right?
And even prior to making records, I started out when I was 16 years old, somewhere in that memory bin, there's a check for $8 at the, what was that club? The Embers Club, the Embers Card Club and Rock Club in Sacramento, California in the 70s. Still have my $8 check. Yeah, a lot of struggle before any success. And even Mr. Big, the first album, we played a lot of shows, and we weren't really on the we weren't on the radio. We had a Ditch That Rush was our video, and that was not on heavy rotation, man. It was like, they played it a couple times at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we did get, we were touring and we played lots of clubs and everything, and we were kind of, a lot of dudes came to the shows, and we had a kind of a underground rock and roll following and everything. But and I was happy. Like, we did so good, we get to make another album. So yeah,
that's awesome.
That Lean Into It album 30 years ago. That's the one that did it.
Oh, it's a great album. What's your favorite song on there? I really like the Green Tinted 60s Mind.
Green Tinted 60s. I like how you say it. What part of the country are you from? Where were you born?
I'm from Seattle.
I don't know what it is, man. Like Green Tinted 60s Mind or Cheap Trick. People say it differently. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I like that song, Green Tinted 60s Mind. Green Tinted 60s Mind. Maybe I'm so used to saying it.
That differently.
This next one is Green Tinted 60s Mind. Green Tinted 60s Mind. Maybe it's just a thing with me. I don't know. But yeah, Paul Gilbert wrote that song, and it opened up a huge can of whoop ass for us, because our first album was pretty straight ahead rock, had Anything for You as a ballad on it. Big Love, kind of middle of the road ballad, but Lean Into It had, there's a lot of diversity on that.
Yeah.
On that, and To Be With You.
Of course.
Green Tinted, yeah.
You know what else song I like? I think I'm like in the minority here. I think I'm the only one that loves the song Trapped in Toyland. I asked Paul about that. He kind of just rolled his eyes, I think. But I love that song.
Oh, that's a bump ahead, right?
Yeah, no, it's on Hey Man. It's on Hey Man. It's the first song on Hey Man.
No. Is it?
Yes.
Look it up. It probably is. I think it's on Bump Ahead, actually.
No, Bump Ahead's 93. You want me to look?
Is it on Hey Man?
Yeah, it's the one with the straw, the scarecrow or whatever.
Will you do me a favor?
Okay.
Because you're wrong or right, and I'm right or wrong. Why don't you just look it up right now? First song in Bump Ahead, what is it?
Okay. I will. I know I'm right. I owned the album. I owned the CD.
You're probably right.
In Seattle. That was hard to find, by the way.
Look it up.
Seattle did not. The first song on Bump Ahead is Colorado Bulldog, which is another song I asked Paul about, and because I heard that song was about your drinking, and he was like, "We didn't drink." He's like, "I wasn't a partier." He's like, "We didn't have groupies. We had guys coming back to the stage that were interested in my guitar."
Lyrics, melody, Colorado Bulldog. Talk to me, kid.
I love that song.
Yes, it is about a drinking song.
Yeah.
He's wrong. He's completely wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong too. I feel so stupid right now. Trapped in Toyland was on Hey Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? when I think of Hey Man, I think of the more, more rock and roll. I don't know. Trapped in Toyland was like this, almost sounded like a Batman theme song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It had that, but it had that really cool Queen thing. It was like toy, 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 toy. These harmonies from each of us, but the music was like it had this kind of Batman vibe to it, you know. Paul Gilbert, and I think Russ Parrish.
Yes,
who
that's
from
right. Steel Panther.
Steel Panther,
and yeah.
And he was in a band with Paul at the time called The Electric Fence. It was a shits and giggles fun band.
Oh, okay.
You got to look it up. Actually, they did a song, which was it was Paula Abdul. Straight up now, tell me, do you? But it was like go straight up now, tell me, do you? Electric Fence.
That sounds awesome.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Colorado Bulldog. Oh no, stay on Trapped in Toyland. Great, epic, huge song. I think he played the piano on it. He was really big in the piano world back then. That was our big title track.
I love that song.
I love that song too. Like sycophants and dociates and pressman, turn the upper hand. It had all kinds of words in it that was like, whoa, I got to get my thesaurus out here, man. But Colorado Bulldog, it's all about Colorado Bulldog is actually a drink,
right?
Yeah, and there's a club in Colorado called in Golden, Colorado, called Ace High. So in the thing, Ace High and Golden, I was tallin' on the rocks, metaphor, tall on the rocks. Add a little touch of attitude, drinking metaphor, touch of attitude. Who's that Madam X? Some girl walking in the bar, coming in at 3:00. Obviously, you're looking. So we're. Why don't you send her over 1, 2? It's all about booze. The whole thing,
right.
like dancing on the table, barking at the moon, bloodshot, all this thing. It's all about booze. Paul did not drink back in the day. Either did Pat. Pat would go, oh, I can't. Champagne even gives my nose all bubbles. And I think me and Billy were like, oh, good, more for us. Yeah, we were I drank quite a bit, wine, and we're red wine guys. But Paul rolled his eyes and Trapped in Toyland.
Well, no, I think, or he just didn't remember. He just didn't seem interested in that song. I was like, I love that song, and he's like, he just, I don't know, he just seemed. I don't think.
Great, it was a great song.
Yeah, I really like that.
I couldn't even remember. Hey, look at Paul Gilbert. He couldn't remember the song. I couldn't even remember what freaking album it was.
Yeah, no, I know it wasn't
such a long career I've had.
See, it's like, for me, that song's like a hit though, but I get that it's not as pop. But to me, it's brilliant. The way the intro is the thing that really sold me on it, because it was this soft piano and then it just hits like heavy. I was like, 16-year-old me was like, this is awesome.
No, it was, sorry to cut you off.
No,
live, it was amazing because it had this cool piano intro. And then the kabuki or the curtain would go drop, and it was like do 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 do. It had this Batman Munsters kind of theme to it.
Yeah, it was very unusual.
It was funny that he wouldn't say anything like that, because I thought his music was great, because it wasn't just no, it wasn't just this. I love that kind of simple rock, cock rock kind of stuff too. But this was, it had a really neat twist to it. Yeah, it was fun it was hard to sing, but it was fun, man. It was like 20 odd years riding somebody's coattails. What's a demon? It was so wordy. And it took me a long time, when I write my own songs, I remember them. sometimes. But when other people write lyrics and stuff, I go, oh, sorry. Pat Torpey he wrote some wordy songs too. He wrote a song called Cheap Little Thrill. And it was like supersonic thing that like candy on $1 million bill. And I'm like, huh? What? And he goes, it's ambiguous, Eric. What's ambiguous mean? Like no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway.
Yeah. No, that's cool because didn't Pat sing for you guys? Didn't you guys switch it up and you play different instruments? I never got to see you guys live. That would have been so cool though.
Well, you can see it on YouTube and stuff if you never saw it. But it was so much fun for me. I got to play drums, guitar I remember we played Suffragette City and I played guitar. Paul played drums, Billy sang lead, and Pat played bass. And then we did Brown Sugar one time. This is cool. And there's a teeny piece of it on YouTube. You got to check it out. We played Brown Sugar at Budokan, right? I played drums. Paul played bass. Pat played guitar. I think something like, no, here's what it was. No. Billy played guitar. I played drums. Pat played bass, and Paul was the lead singer, and he dressed up like Mick Jagger. He had, that iconic Mick Jagger look when he's wearing kind of a red and white Uncle Sam kind of hat and a scarf. And he's got this shirt that looks like an upside down horseshoe on it. And I think it's Get Your Yayas Out, the live album. And Mick Jagger's doing his thing. Well, Paul Gilbert copied him, and it's a little piece of it on YouTube, and he's doing that. But that wasn't the best part. The best part was switching instruments again, where Paul played guitar and Billy played, and Pat still played bass, but Billy came out and played the saxophone solo.
Really?
Because he played saxophone in high school. How about that? That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere out there. I've seen it. It's not even under the name. You're going to have to do your
research. Yes. I love to do that. Even if I'm wrong sometimes.
Yeah. Like you were.
What? No, I was right about the album.
I'm so glad you didn't dig up some weird skeleton from my past and go like, what was the guy? Ralph Emery or Ralph Edwards, and This Is Your Life. Eric, do you remember her? And it's like,
No. I'm a fan. I want to make it a good interview. I hope you guys had fun, and hopefully we get some good press.
When you say you guys had fun, like me and my 9 personalities?
No, I'm saying when I do these interviews, I try to make it fun for all my guests, not just you. But yes, you, of course.
So, where are we? Trapped in Toyland, Colorado Bulldog, Fire Beast,
so many
Paul
good
Taylor, Winger. What else did we talk about? We touched you. I know you totally want to talk about Van Halen, and I don't want to, and you just want to move on because I chicken shitted out of it, and I don't move on to that. Toto, Steve Lukather, bummer. I wish we would have got a chance to get together. Now, where are we?
You still could, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Or is there anybody else on your bucket list that you want to play with? You've done all these cool things.
Yeah. I want to do a duet with Paul Rogers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And I also want to play with, this is really odd, but I really want to play with John Mayer. He's got a great style.
He's a really good guitar player too. People don't know that. People think he's just a singer.
Part is the second.
Yeah.
Guitar player first.
No, but I think a lot of people don't know that.
I love his kind of approach to the singing too, like a Velvet kind of thing. And I like his comedy. He's a really intelligent guy. I think I'd hit it off with him, and I'd like to do something with him. I love all his music. I really do. I love his guitar playing.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I'd love to have him on the podcast.
I was fishing on YouTube one day. Well, somebody told me about it, and I was like looking for it. He was at a concert, and he just kind of had a moment to talk to the audience, and he started jamming on a couple songs with his band, like cover songs. And he started playing "To Be With You," right? And he played da, 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 and then he was like, "Hold on, little girl," doing this falsetto thing. And I was like, "Oh, what an ultimate pat on the back that is," you know? Oh man, that made me feel good.
That's your chance to reach out and say, "Hey, I saw you do that. That was really cool."
That was a couple of years ago. I think that ship has sailed. But
you missed the window. Damn it.
But if I ever do run into him, you know, you're the "To Be With You" guy.
Yeah. Do you run into those kind of guys a lot? I mean, there must be all these festivals you do, like the Monsters of Rock and all that stuff. I mean, you must run into everybody.
You know, my wife or friends, whatever, ex-wife, we'll be in airports and I'll go, "Oh my God, don't look now, but that's," and she'll like, "Huh?" Nobody sees people. I see people. I spot them out. Good story. I'll tell you a good story here.
Oh, good.
I did the Letterman show with Mr. Big, and there was a hairdresser that was, you know, on makeup, and she was doing our thing. And she goes, "I'm going to England tomorrow with my boyfriend. I might see you guys in the airport," because that's where we were going. And I ran into her at the airport. I was just wandering around the bands, you know. It was like hurry up and wait every time we went to the airport, because, you know, you got all your gear. That takes hours and hours. And then I don't know why the band has to go to, but the crew, band, everything, we all have to wait around for, and my whole life has been like that. But I'm wandering around the airport and I run into the lady. I can't remember her name. Joni, I can't remember. Patty. Wish I could remember, but
the hairdresser. Yeah.
Hairdresser. And she introduces me to her boyfriend. And it's Noel Redding from Jimi Hendrix, man.
Oh,
right?
Damn. Yeah.
And my band are huge Jimi Hendrix fans. Beatles, Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. Couple other bands too, but those three bands, all I heard, you know, they can play every lick. Every time we rehearsed or did sound checks, they would whip out one of those songs, and Pat would know every drum lick. Billy would know every bass, Paul, every Jimmy lick, whatever, right? And they weren't paying attention to me as usual. Like, "Hey guys, can I get your attention?" And they're like, closing their eyes. You're like, "Oh God, what now? What does the singer want?" I go, "I'd like to introduce you to Noel Redding." They were like, "God, but all stood up, man. It was so cool. It was awesome.
Oh.
It was the greatest moment ever. There's another time I was in the airport in San Francisco with Mr. Big. And I've done a lot of 49er functions. I've sung the national anthem at the games.
Oh, that's
I've done
cool.
it 3 times. And I used to, during the years of, you know, the 80s, the good years, I used to play at their parties. Like they'd have their own party. Like, you know, the football players, like I remember this Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
He'd have a barbecue and Eric Martin Band would play his barbecue, or Eddie DeBartolo, the owner at the time. He had his 40th birthday party at the Hard Rock Cafe. And he goes, "I want Eric to play." And Herbie Herbert, who managed me, had a box seat at the 49er game at the Candlestick Park. And I'd always be invited to the tailgates, and I'd be in the box. And then after the game, we'd go over to Eddie DeBartolo's box and his 3 daughters and his wife, and we'd hang out. It was just good times back in the day. And so I'm in San Francisco in the airport, and Billy and Paul, they could probably care less, but Pat Torpey is a huge sports fan, you know. And I'm walking through, and he goes, Eric Martin." I'm like, I turn around, it's Joe Montana. Right, bro?
Wow.
So Joe Montana goes, Eric, hey. And Paul and Billy turn around. Billy kind of goes, hey, what you talking about, Willis? You're probably looking it up, Paul's like, one of Eric's friends. He doesn't know who that is. Pat
doesn't know who Joe Montana is?
Tongue dropped out of his mouth. And even me, I'm going, wow, Joe Montana. In the back of my head, I'm going, this guy knows my name, and I've done function for him too, but like Joe Montana,
yeah,
like meeting the Pope.
That's cool. And he remembered you, like he called your name. That's amazing.
Eric. He goes, Eric Martin. I'm like, God damn it. I can't believe Joe Montana remember me. So he comes over and he goes, hey, and I go, hey, this is my band, Mr. Big. And Pat was like, I can't remember what he said. God, good to meet you, sir. I'm such a big fan. Billy's like, good to meet you. Hey, wow. Yeah, football. Yeah. I was like, Eric, one of Eric's friends. He doesn't know. I mean, look, I've met people from Paul before in the heavier rock world, metal world, and like, hey, this guy is this guy. I'm like, oh, wow, who's that? Well, are you kidding? That's a singer for Striper or something, like that, Anyway. Like, wait.
That's awesome. All right. Well, shit, we've done like an hour and a half, so this is it's gonna be fun to edit. But I won't edit it too much. But yeah,
hey,
we should.
If you're not gonna get me saying you did your research at all, unless
you
I
just said it.
Now. You're gonna put the fucking sizzler in. The sizzler.
No, yeah. I want to get the one where
you dug my grave, man.
No, I want to get the one where you said your research sucks. I think that's hilarious. I'll put that at the end.
Your research sucks.
Yeah.
Headline.
Nobody cares about me. No, it's got to be something about you.
Are you kidding? Everybody knows you. Young Mitch LaFon. He was like, you saw that little thing, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up talking about it. We cut it. But the other guy, his name is Jeremy White. And he goes, hey, I hope your interview with Chuck Shute goes well.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't know them. I know of them. I mean, I've seen their stuff.
PJ Farley loves you, man.
I didn't. Sometimes they don't even remember me. I had Donnie V on the show 3 times and he didn't remember me.
Okay. Anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this has been a lot of fun. Wait. Oh, so I always end with a charity.
Chuck's a good dude. PJ Farley.
Oh, that's not. I love PJ. He's really nice. All those Trickster guys are awesome. I love Steve Brown too, and Mark.
Steve Lukather. Who the hell is Chuck Shute? No.
That'd be cool. Just for him to say my name, that'd be pretty neat.
I would love that.
Yeah. No, tell Jericho I said hi. We're old buddies.
Are you?
No, but I want him to do my podcast. That'd be cool if he did.
Oh man. He's another guy just like you that does his research.
Does he?
So, yeah, he's really good at that stuff,
I've listened to a few of his episodes. Are really good.
Busting my balls.
Yeah.
In this one thing, yeah. Because sometimes when I do promo ads, and I kind of do it with PJ Farley once in a while, and I'll do like 50 takes before I'll get that one right. And I remember this one, we did it, and it was right before a show, and I go, hey, buddy, old pal, put her there. And it was just so stupid. And we did like 50 takes of that. And PJ sent it to Chris, and then he basically he started doing videos, like mock videos.
Oh, shit.
As in mocking me, So, yeah.
Yeah, but you're on like a thread with those guys or something? You're all good buddies? That's pretty cool.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a thread. It seems like a lot of DJs. Do you call yourself DJs or air personalities?
I don't. I just call myself a podcaster. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like telecaster, podcaster. But it seems like a lot of dudes, and they just bust balls all day. I thought it was a lot of fun in the beginning. Now, all day long, it's like, I'm surprised that they haven't, like, Ding, 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 ding. Did you see what Ace Frehley said today? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I just found this rare track of Van Halen. Ding, 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 ding. Kiss, Van Halen, Van Halen. All fucking day long, man.
So that's what you guys don't talk about politics or like current events. It's all music stuff.
No, nobody talks politics. We talked about chicks back in the 80s and stuff like that, but no, this is only Kiss, David Coverdale, and Van Halen. And that's it all day long. Ding, 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 ding. Or if somebody show up late, like me, it'd be like Ballbusting. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I have that with my friends too, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
You have a thread? You have a thread and do you call it something?
Yeah, we have a couple. We change the name all the time. I have a few threads, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, it's overwhelming. It's like, ding, ding. You're right. It's like so many texts. I'm like, I can't keep up. And my girlfriend's jealous. She wants to be on a thread. What's that?
They're going to probably block me now.
No.
Yeah, of course. We don't need E. Yeah, ours is, I thought of the name. I said it in some passing and PJ goes, let's use it for a thread. Gig Pigs. That's where we are.
I like that.
The Gig Pigs Roundtable. Yeah, you can't find us on the internet. It's just us.
You could do a show together though, right?
What, Gig Pigs?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Joey Cassata on drums, Steve Brown on guitar, PJ Farley on bass, and then the Righteous Brothers singing. Yeah.
Two singers,
Jericho, with him headlocking me, ripping my, doing his signature moves.
Yeah. No, that sounds awesome. But yeah, so
and Judas played 10 times.
Judas?
Because Judas. I think Judas has played way more than like I hear "To Be With You" on the radio these days. Yeah.
Well, Judas, in Japan, didn't you guys have didn't you have some big hits in Japan, like the Super Fantastic and Shine? I love those songs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Just Take My Heart was on the charts, and Wild World.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, hopefully you'll come to Phoenix and do a show here. I saw you with Steve and PJ a few years ago at that pool bar
years ago.
Turned
Is that the pool gig?
It went out of business, I think, but
oh man, that was a fun gig.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah. So hopefully you'll come back.
And it was a really nice day for weather in Arizona, and they had like these little fire things going on, a little tent, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
But what happened?
I don't know. Well, hopefully you'll come back and play somewhere. There's a lot of cool venues out here, so just come out and do an acoustic show or something. It'd be fun.
Put me in touch with the right people, and I'll do it.
Okay.
Tell me, put me together with some guy, and I'll just, some owner, and I'll just let's make that happen.
All right, cool. We'll see if I can do. Oh, and then like I said,
play laundromat openings, bar mitzvahs, a car wash. No.
That'd be fun. I'd go to see that. But yeah, so I end each episode with a charity. Is there a charity that you are near and dear to your heart, or anything you want to give a shout out to here?
I don't have any charities. Goodwill.
That works. People.
Goodwill. I mean, they got bags of my clothes, bags and bags of gig clothes, man.
Really? You don't try to sell those on eBay or something and sign them and.
I have, yeah. Okay, so Chuck Taylor, All Stars, right?
Converse.
I did this recently. I keep all my Chucks. Even the soles are all worn down. I keep all the Chucks in a bag. I don't know why. Just I got an extra bin. I'll just throw them in there. And I've been signing them and kind of giving them away for things, Make a Wish and all that stuff. But yeah, Goodwill. Do I? No, man. I try on the gig clothes. I go, I remember this old velvet shirt. Goodwill bag. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, thanks for doing this, Eric. I appreciate it. And I'll try to get this out as soon as I can.
Take your time. There's a lot of editing going on there, Chuck.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll put in some pictures and stuff for the video. It'll be fun.
Oh, pictures of like the way I used to look and the way I'm looking right now with my.
No, like if we talk about Steve Lukather, I'll put a picture of so people who know who that is.
Oh yeah,
Stuff like that. You know, I've been doing that lately with the videos.
Like people are going to question, like, why does he have Beatles, Poison, Warrant, and the young lady with the artwork? That is just like, I mean,
I don't know if we know each other.
Next time we do an interview, I'm going to have like a power tool, a vacuum cleaner, a butterball turkey, and a severed head. And then you're gonna go, hey, what's up with that? I'm like, oh, these knickknacks.
What? You're busting my balls a little too much. Like, I don't think we know each other that well, but I love it. Like, but it's having fun. I'm having a good time.
I just said to Mitch LaFon, if you saw the thing,
I did.
My new best friend.
All right.
Look, yeah.
I know. See, you gave me your phone number. I could totally stalk you now. I could just text you. Ding, ding, ding. It's going to be me. You're going to think, oh, it's the thread again. It's the Gig Pigs, and it's going to be me. Hey, how's it going? What'd you have for lunch today, Eric? Are you writing any new songs? Hey, how's Chris Jericho? Is he going to do my podcast now? Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course you will.
You invite.
Hey, what are you wearing? Hey, I'm wearing black too. Anyway.
All right, this has been a blast. I'll see you on the thread, the new thread, you and me.
Shooting Martin.
Yeah.
Shoots and ladders.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm down.
All right, I'll see you later, Eric.
Good talking to you, Chuck. Sorry about the mishap in the beginning, you know.
Yeah, it happens. No worries.
Mitch LaFon. I spit on his grave. Put that on the podcast. All right.
All right.
See you, man.
Bye. Well, that was so much fun. I hope you guys had as much fun listening as we did chatting. And so many great stories from Eric. And I'll have to have him back on again soon. I usually like to make a little clip of the video, one of the funniest parts or the best part, and I'll use that to promote the episode. But I don't even know which part to use. There's like 40 great clips in this episode. So let me know what your favorite part of the show was. And let me know if you listened to the whole thing. What was your favorite part? What do you think I should make a clip of? I'm just curious. I'll probably have already had one out, but I might do 2 or 3 clips for this episode. So, and of course, do all the other regular shit I always tell you to do. Follow Eric on social media. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to my show, etc., etc. Write me a review if you really want to. Do all that great stuff. Have a great day. Follow your dreams, and remember to shoot for the moon.